Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum, guys. So, I start with my mentor today, or a brother who I consider to be a mentor, most definitely I consider him to be a mentor. And I've had 3 sittings with him, and every single time it's completely shifted my focus. Not just shifting my focus, but it's made me money, saved me money. It's ridiculous. And I just want to touch here upon the importance of mentorship. I remember when I started practicing the deen about 12 years ago, I immediately realized the importance of getting a mentor, because someone who's walked the path before you will obviously have made the mistakes that I'm about to make. An analogy that one brother used to give to me, who once upon a time I considered a mentor of mine, he said, Gulab Jamun. Gulab Jamun is like a dessert that they give you in Pakistan. I'm not sure if other countries also have it as well, but it's something that's very common with us. He said the first guy who ever invented the Gulab Jamun, how long do you think it took him? He said it could have taken him months, weeks, years to perfect the recipe. But once he perfected the recipe, how long do you think it would have taken for him to pass it on to someone else? 2-3 minutes, right? So someone, and we've heard the famous, example that's given of Thomas Edison, right? If I'm not mistaken, that was his name, the guy who apparently invented the light bulb. He said, I tried it 999 times and I failed, and the 1000th time I actually got it right. So it took him all those years and tries to get the light bulb right. How long do you think it would take now then to pass it on to the next person? A fraction of the time. But it's not just that they can pass on information to you faster and give you best practices. Another thing that mentors can do is that they can identify things that you're doing wrong, and they can run a diagnostic on you quickly. So I've sat with my teachers before, like for example, when I moved over here to Dubai, one of the things I started doing straight was I looked at all of the mashayikh, the ulama, the lessons that were going on all over the city, right? So Sahih Bukhari is being taught there, Tafsir Ibn Kathir was being explained there with the summary of it, and then this was being taught, and Tafsir was being taught here, and this Bulugh al-Maram was being taught there in Arabic, and there is being taught in Urdu, and so on and so forth. So I remember I was like, okay, cool, I'm just making my list. I'm going to be going to these 2 lessons here, I'm going to be going to these 2 lessons on this day, this day, this day, this day, this day. And I sat down with my shaykh, and he kind of broke it down and said, Imran, each of these teachers are going through books, and they're not small books, they're big books, right? And they're going through these books, and they've started them with a particular level of explanation for their students. And you don't know what he's already taught the students before, and you don't know what he's going to be teaching the students after. So for you to treat these lessons as if they are going to be like lessons in which you're going to grow as a student of knowledge is wrong, because you're going to join something that's already started. And even if you join one of those books at the beginning, when a sheikh finishes one book, he goes into another one. And 2 scholars won't teach the same book at the same level. Some will teach one book at a level which is a bit more advanced than others. Others will teach it in a way that's a bit more, easier than others. And they obviously have a mindset of they know what level they're going to teach this explanation at, and then what the next book is going to be like in the next book, and each one is kind of building them, right? But if I'm just haphazardly going to different teachers, studying different books, some books have been going on for 2 years already, and some books have been going on for 3 years, and some books are just starting, and some books are just finishing, and each teacher is different, and he's got different style of teaching, is that you're not going to grow, you're just going to get information from everywhere. He said the lessons that I already have, because I've got 2 mashayikh that I study with. I've got a sheikh from Egypt that I study with daily, walillah alhamd, and I've got a sheikh in Pakistan, walillah alhamd, I study with him in the flesh. I study with a sheikh in Egypt in the flesh as well, when we meet in Mecca, but on a day-to-day online, right? That's where the lessons are. And he's like, look, you should be doubling down on these lessons and revising and reading and so on and so forth. He said, I'm not saying don't go and attend those lessons. Attend them from the angle of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, إذا مررتم بروضة من رياض الجنة فارتعوا أو كما قال. If you go past a garden from the gardens of paradise, then just relax. The circles of knowledge, if you go past one of those circles of knowledge, you see them, that's a garden from the gardens of paradise, relax. So I started attending the tafsir of Sheikh Khalid Ismail, and الترغيب والترهيب by Sheikh Aziz Farhan. And truth be told, the last couple of months I haven't been very consistent, travels and things like that. But the point is that I treat those lessons as something extra to go to benefit outside of my actual seeking knowledge. Now, had I just attended those lessons, in my mind I would have thought, oh, look at all these lessons I'm attending, 2-3 lessons a day, and I'm going across the city with this sheikh, that sheikh, this sheikh, and someone asks me, what are you studying? Oh, I'm studying Tafsir Ibn Kathir, Bulugh al-Maram, Sahih Bukhari, da da da. but really I'm not actually gathering anything. So like the Sheikh was able to run that diagnostic on me, and that's a beautiful thing. So coming back to this brother that I met today, and again, like I said, he's a mentor. I consider him to be a mentor when it comes to business. He sat us down. First time he sat us down, he made, we were trying to increase our profits, and he showed us that, look, increasing your profits is not the problem. You guys get money coming in. Your issue is, you're not retaining that money, so you have to cut costs. And then he just showed us a couple of things, and next thing you know, with the permission of Allah, we saved £10,000 almost, just under £10,000, which is about $13,000-14,000 monthly, by the way. Now, what's crazy here is that it's not just that we saved the money, but the process that we used to cut those costs actually ended up creating a lot more efficiency in the business. So now we're getting things done faster and faster and faster. So when you replace a human being that you no longer need to pay for with automations from Zapier, which are cheaper and faster, and you've removed human error, and at the same time you've cut costs, Allahu Akbar. So that was the first time. Second time I had a consultation with him, there was a big problem we were having in operations. So the biggest problem we were having at the beginning was finances, and alhamdulillah, that got sorted with, we were trying to solve it for years. And with one sitting, he sat with the finance guy, and then boom, a week later it was sorted with Allah as it was just permission. Second time was big operational issues that we were having. We were not able to manage everything. Again, he sat me down, he said, look, your guy who's running the operations, he's got 1 or 3 issues: capacity, capability, accountability. And I made another video on this the other day, right? Why people keep failing, and so on and so forth. Or something like that. It was called something like that. And then again, we were able to, giving me that framework, I was able to quickly highlight what the problem was. He helped me run. He gave me the framework to run the diagnostic myself now, and I ran the diagnostic. I gave the brother the training. And the next thing you know, our operations are top 10, top notch. And today he gave me another benefit. I was saying, look, we get leads. Like, we get leads for our business. Leads come in like crazy, alhamdulillah. But leads don't come in passively. They don't come in passively. In the sense where if I don't do anything, the leads won't come in. I have to actively do. I have to do active marketing, right, and lead generation to get the leads to come in. And by the way, our game is organic. We don't do paid ads and none of that stuff, right? So he was like, look, the problem is brand. He said, you have been known for too many things, right? And you've not done any one of those things for a long enough, consistent period of time that people could know you for one thing. And when you get known for one thing, over time, word keeps spreading, the brand gets strong, and people just know you're that guy for that thing. And you may not see how deep this is, but this is something that I've been struggling with for years, and especially recently, I've been thinking about it a lot. And it's made me so stagnant because I'm like, there's so much going on. There's Nasir sessions. On Nasir sessions, I've got Chalma buying, and then I've got righteous, which then we've got the Umrah setup, and the Umrah setup is sitting underneath the Brothers Club, and then we've got the Da'wah side of things, and so on and so forth. So, like, what is it that Imran ibn Mansour is known for? What's his thing? So when he gave me that framework, and he's like, when you're known for that one thing, like, people will just always remember years later. He goes, people won't remember you now as the guy who ran Knowledge College, the guy who was teaching people Islamic studies, because you stopped that now and you went on to something else. And then when you stopped teaching people how to set up Umrah companies, like 2-3 years later, you're not going to be known as the guy who set up people for Umrah companies. So anyone who wants to set up an Umrah company is not going to be thinking about coming to you because you've moved on to something else. So that made me realize, and I realized, you know what, I have to cut everything. I have to shut everything off. So I'm going to be shutting down Chalma Bai, inshallah ta'ala. The sessions is going to go. I'm going to be shutting down the Brothers Club. As I've already told you guys in a previous video on our other channel, Umrah setup is tonight, actually, is the last night we're closing down. Applications, the last night to make an application is tonight. Because we're going to be focused on scaling those companies behind the scenes. Now the brothers have already set up their companies, 50 plus companies now, alhamdulillah. I thought it was 40 plus, but Abu Bakr told me it's 50 plus. We'll be helping them scale and take their stuff to the next level, inshallah ta'ala. But point being is that we're going to be focusing on them. But publicly, what is it that I'm known for? It's just going to be one thing. One thing. What is that? I'm going to announce it next week, Thursdays, Chalma Bai, inshallah ta'ala. With that said, guys, the benefit of having mentors, wallahi, is life changing. I myself also do some mentorship, in case anyone's wondering. There's a link below if you want to book a call with me. Mentorship with regards to business, relationships, productivity, seeking knowledge, methodology of seeking knowledge. You can click the link below, inshallah, book a call. I have only a few slots available every week, but hopefully, if it's in your nasib, then we can talk. But that's it. Allah bless you. Assalamu alaikum. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.